As of this moment, the word is out. We are going to try to bring back Firefly. This time, we're going to animate it. Guys, bringing back Firefly, crazy or not crazy?
Not crazy.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
Not crazy.
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 It's crazy, but it just might work.
Now, to do this, we would need Joss's blessing. I got it.
The rights from 20th Century Fox.
/ Disney.
They got excited. They said yes.
The showrunner.
I got 2. Tara Butters, Agent Carter, Dollhouse, Mark Guggenheim, Arrow, Flash. They're married. They met through Firefly.
A script.
We got it.
An animation house.
Academy and Emmy award-winning Shadow Machine. The last piece we need is a home.
A home.
A home.
A home?
A home?
A home.
A home.
A home!
And for that, we need you. Like this post. Comment on this post. Repost this post. Tag your friends. Tag your family. Tag your enemies. I'm asking you to do what you've always done. Keep Firefly flying. Oh, and I'm about to go pitch this thing, so wish me luck.
Good luck, Captain Tight Pants. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck with that, Nate.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Storm's getting worse.
We'll pass through it soon enough.
Welcome back, Browncoats. Big surprise, Nathan Fillion in the cast of Firefly announcing that they're going to bring back the show, so we will break it all down. I know there are a bunch of questions here about the timeline. They released some official concept art, so it sounds like they have an idea of how the series is going to pick up in the future, with them still looking a little bit younger, so not that much time will have passed since the events of the movie in the comics. If you've not kept up with the series or you didn't read the comics after the movie came out, there have been series of comics that picked up where the movie left off and continued the timeline forward. They've been getting together for years at conventions since the original show ended, since the movie started, like way back in the day. But there'd always been talk about them bringing it back. But because the rights were at so many different places, it was so complicated, it was really hard to do back in the day. And no other big networks were really willing to actually bring the show back at the time. So people had tried previously to bring it back unsuccessfully. What has changed now has been their approach to how they're bringing it back, and some of the legal issues that were problems before are not problems anymore.
Oh.
So, are you in?
Okay.
Okay.
As Nathan Fillion says, there were like a bunch of things that they had to do before they could actually start working on this. They got Joss Whedon's blessing. Technically, legally, they didn't need his blessing, but they wanted to get his blessing anyway. He is not currently attached to the new project, as they announced different showrunners that are going to be working on it that worked on previous Joss Whedon stuff. Probably the most important piece of the puzzle is they got the rights from 20th Century Fox Television, which made the original show. Joss Whedon made it with 20th Century Fox, and Disney, because technically they own Fox now, so it's way easier, and they have Disney Plus, so it will be on Disney Plus when it finishes. And most of you are probably familiar with the new showrunners. It's Mark Guggenheim from Arrow, the Arrowverse, The Flash, like all the other Arrowverse shows, and his wife in real life, Tara Butters, who did Agent Carter. She did like a bunch of Marvel stuff. She did Gen V more recently in The Boys universe. She's done a bunch of other shows too. And she worked on Dollhouse way back in the day, which was Joss Whedon's next big show after Firefly, and starred a lot of the Firefly actors, just because he typically used a lot of the same actors in a lot of his different projects and movies. They actually said the two of them met in real life because of Firefly, so like they actually go way back with Firefly too. Zoom in and enhance on all the important details too on the actual story, like what's actually going on when this picks up in episode 1. So you notice in the concept art, everybody's wearing clothing and looks similar to the age they were at the end of the actual movie. Like not that much time has gone by, like I said. And in the actual picture, it's only Mal, Zoe, Inara, Kaylee, Jayne, and River. Notice there is no Wash, which is why I think this won't be a full-on reboot. He died during the events of the Serenity movie, tragically. One of the most tragic things that happened during the series. It has been memed forever since it actually happened back in the day. Here's the thing though, Alan Tudyk was involved with this big announcement. He seems like he was a big part of it, so it does seem like they will bring him back in some way for these episodes. Maybe in flashbacks, or people thinking about him, or a voice in people's heads, but some way he sounds like he will be involved with this too. So technically he's part of the series, even though he died previously in the timeline. If you're a big Daredevil Marvel fan, they're getting ready for Daredevil Born Again Season 2 episodes. They're kind of doing the same thing with Foggy Nelson, where like they make you think that he died, but they keep bringing him back for new material that they shot for the new season. So technically he's back, even though he's supposed to be dead.
I'm not gonna do this without you.
Oh.
Zoom and enhance on the script for their first episode too. They're calling the show Firefly Still Flyin, which is just a temporary title. Like the show isn't actually going to be called that, which is just a joke about the show still going. Like, hey, we're all still around. We're still doing good. Show's back. And the first episode is titled Athenia, which might be a reference to Wash and Zoe's daughter. Maybe that's her name, because the later comics that took place after the Serenity movie revealed that she was pregnant with Wash's child. Athenia just sounds like a girl's name. They're making it sound like it's going to release on Disney Plus in the next couple of years, assuming that everything goes well through production, but Nathan Fillion basically says that he's going to be pitching to Disney. They still need to actually go through the traditional production development process with Disney for Disney Plus. Like they're working on a pitch deck, they're working on a pilot, and then they'll either approve it, like they'll greenlight it to series, and they'll do all the episodes, or it will turn into something different. Sometimes when things like this don't go that well, or Disney or like other big networks don't want to like fully commit to like a full-on reboot series, they turn it into like a smaller one-off movie kind of situation. So we will see what this winds up turning into. Hopefully it all works out and we get like a full-on season coming back. All the crazy jokes from the crew members are in the tone of their characters from the series, reacting as their characters, like if the characters were reacting to coming back. Some of these actors I have not seen in a long, long time on TV or in movies, but they've still been active. Like a lot of them do theater, they do like other things, but they're not quite as active as some of the other people. Like Nathan Fillion, probably the most successful person to come out of the series. Doing a massive number of TV shows like big TV star, but also just came back as Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, inside James Gunn's DCU, the Superman movie. He'll be back during the Lantern Series 2 as his Guy Gardner character, and also in the Man of Tomorrow movie. And obviously we just saw Morena Baccarin also come back in Deadpool and Wolverine, with potentially more with her character in future Deadpool franchise movies. Now I know people are asking what happened to all the characters after the events of the Serenity movie, because largely this would cover that, like this whole series would cover that. They actually covered a lot of this, like the events right after the events of the movie, in a comic book series that was done by Zack Whedon, brother of Joss Whedon, who also did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like he's done a lot of other Joss Whedon related shows as well too.
Has the day finally come?
The day has finally come.
I knew it would.
The actual comic series is called Serenity Leaves on the Wind, and it was published in 2014, set 9 months after the events of the Serenity movie. Zoe has Wash's baby, revealing that she was pregnant during the events of the actual movie, names the baby Emma, then has complications and has to be taken to a hospital to survive, the closest one on a system controlled by the feared Alliance. Fortunately, the crew of the Serenity eventually stormed the jail to rescue her, and she's reunited with her daughter Emma, then raises her without Wash, but all the other members of the crew help her raise the baby. Mal and Inara finally get together, their relationship not very easygoing, they still constantly bicker. Inara is forced to stay aboard the ship after losing her companion license. Remember, she was a companion, that's a nice way of saying it. She then reveals why she left House Madrasa to travel the Outer Rim with the Serenity, a secret that was never revealed during the actual TV series. Then they discover that River isn't the only psychic on the loose. The Alliance experimented on her brain as well as other people too. She wasn't the only test subject. A group of them work as assassins together, led by an Alliance lieutenant known as Callista, who soon becomes the antagonist of the saga, like the comic book saga, the sequel series, after it's revealed that she was also a test subject determined to bring down the Serenity. So basically a group of roving psychics coming after them. Jubal Early, the bounty hunter from the series, Boba Fett style, comes back after them, continues to try and chase them down after he'd been jettisoned into space. Chiwetel Ejiofor's operative character also comes back too and joins the Serenity crew for a brief time, turning to help them against the Alliance briefly. Zoe winds up getting stuck on a labor camp and they need his help to rescue her from the Alliance, which is why he temporarily joins the crew. Then they also reveal the Shepherd's backstory. He was also killed during the events of the Serenity movie, but you don't fully learn his backstory till the events of the comics that take place after the actual movie. Most likely what they're targeting is 2028 for a release date, but because it's going to be an animated project, that tends to take a little bit longer. That could slip into 2029 based on how far along they are and how quickly Disney greenlights everything and takes them to series. So what he says at the end of the video, now we got to go pitch this to Disney basically, is that they just reached that point. If you remember, something similar has happened with Smallville with Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum also trying to bring back Smallville, like Smallville season 11, which they kind of did in the comics, but with an animated series because all the cast members have aged up so much since the events of the series.
And you are the best Lex. Let's admit it. We know you're the best Lex.
Come on, you're being funny.
I'm not being funny. You're definitely the best Lex.
Really?
Definitely.
The whole reason why Nathan Fillion and the Firefly people are probably having an easier time bringing their show back than, say, like Tom Welling and Michael Rosenbaum bringing Smallville back because they sound like their project is dead in the water is just because different networks, different things right now. Warner Brothers owns the rights to Smallville, and they're in the middle of that big Paramount buyout right now. There's all these different regime changes going on. Paramount is going to be in charge pretty soon. So that's why it's so much harder for them to actually get their project made than, say, like the Disney Firefly people who are all just like going to be the same people the next several years. There's been a lot of talk about this Warner Brothers, Paramount, Netflix chaos. For the most part, I've already covered everything, like all the really important stuff, what the future of the DCU is, more specifically with James Gunn, and what's going to be happening with all that the next several years, at least for the next several years. Beyond that, it's a little too hard to tell, like if you talk about 10, 15 years out. Everybody post all your reactions in the comments below. It just feels like it's so wild because the series itself was canceled long before YouTube even existed, like people even thought about making YouTube at the time, and the movie itself dropped just after YouTube left beta. Like YouTube was a brand new thing when the movie happened. I think it was one of the first Blu-rays that I ever owned too. There's been so much talk about this the last 20 plus years since the show was canceled, they did the movie, and then people kept asking, when are you going to bring it back? Because so many different shows were getting revivals, it was just a matter of time before they tried to do something like this. Like, I think it was a foregone conclusion, eventually we will come back in some way, and now it's just finally happened. But there is a bunch of stuff happening in the next couple of weeks. So we have Invincible Season 4 episodes starting this week. Also Daredevil Born Again starting after that. And then The Boys Season 5 episodes starting right after that. So we're going to be eating good for the next couple of months with episodes from a bunch of different things. Be sure to enable alerts for my channel so you don't miss any of those. Everybody click here for my Boys Season 5 trailer video and click here for all my Daredevil Born Again trailer videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.